From growing up in his mom's Vietnamese sandwich shop to becoming head sushi chef at Uchi, Chef Patrick Pham is now the co-founder of Duckstache Hospitality with restaurants across Houston and also overseas. One of their latest concepts, Doko, is helping people here at home by taking part in Houston Restaurant Weeks. And he joins us this morning. Okay, if you're wondering where Duckstache came from,
I'm the stash in Duckstache.
Yeah, you're the stash in Duckstache, and of course there are ducks in the restaurant. We'll get to that in a second. There they are. But first off, cheers to your success right here.
Born gold.
Always got to have a little sake in the house, right? Okay. Okay.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Born in California, moved to Cyprus around 3 years old.
Yes,
How did you go from California to Cyprus?
My dad's job took us here, and we just never left. And I consider myself a Houstonian, a Texan now, but well, no one's ever told me that officially. So
yeah, right.
Still waiting for that.
You are now, right? You are. You saw your grandma in California every summer, and you always remember cooking fresh food. Oh, look at the picture, so cute. Always, yeah. You didn't have a mustache then. But
no, I had hair on here back then, though.
But you always remember the smells and the time spent in cooking fresh food.
Yes, I mean that's just what food is, really, right? It's just like you take a bite of something, and it just brings you back to a memory or an experience that you had when you were younger or older, whatever it is, and that's what I fell in love with.
And then also develop a work ethic and working in the restaurant business. When your mom has her Vietnamese sandwich and tapioca shop, still has it today?
Yes, 25 years now, and I was working there in middle school, high school. I thought summer was working 77 hours a week until I went back to school, and my friends were like, "Where'd you go for summer?" I was like, "What do you mean? I thought you just worked during the summer."
Yeah, right. Well, and some of that comes from just your immigrant story, right?
Yes.
You're a first-generation American, but your parents came when Vietnam fell.
Yes, ma'am.
And they did what they knew to do, and that's food, as we find that with a lot of cultures, right? You come, you land, and you go, what do we know to do? Food.
Exactly.
But your parents thought, okay, we're doing this for you to do something else. And we were joking earlier during the commercial break, doctor, lawyer, engineer, which one do you want?
Exactly. That's what they wanted. And when I told them that I was going into the food industry, they're like, why? It's hard. That we came here to give you a better opportunity, but it's just what I loved, and I loved eating growing up. Yeah. So.
And a great passion here, a great lesson here, and that is, what are you passionate about? Because if you're not passionate about all those other things that we said, you might not do it as well, right?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so you attended the Art Institute of Houston, which means you were serious about that, and after graduating, you joined the opening team of Uchi. That was a big get.
It was, so I was 19, went to Art Institute of Houston, graduated, and then Uchi came, and I just applied to get my foot in the door, and that's where I met a lot of my mentors, great chefs that taught me along the way, and the rest is
work
history.
ethic again.
Yeah.
You did everything there before you reached that sushi bar.
Yes, ma'am. I started at prep, did tempura, did garde-manger, sushi prep. I treated it like it was school.
Yeah.
I would go there on my days off. I would go there early. I just wanted to learn.
Yeah, and you did learn from Chef Katsuyama.
Yes.
You call him your sushi daddy?
Yeah, he's my sushi daddy. His name is Yoshinori Katsuyama. He has a restaurant here in Houston as well. It's called Aya in Bel Air.
Yeah, you rose through the ranks, but you met somebody there along the way, and eventually what a lot of people do who are this passionate about food is you say, can I do my own thing? And you set off to do your own thing.
Exactly. My goal was to open my first restaurant by the time I was 30, just in case if it didn't work out, then I could try to go back to school and find a corporate job or something. So yeah, knock on wood, it's still working out.
Didn't have to do it. Yeah, you met Daniel Lee, and so this is what you have, the Duckstache story. You wanted to create something different. You started with your private pop-ups and tastings. Another great lesson there. Sometimes people think they want to dive, full head on in. You got to test the water sometimes.
Yeah, without spending so much money to open a restaurant. So we just started off with pop-ups. It was cheaper that way, and just kind of built the clout and the fan base.
And now you have a hospitality empire. This is cool. Okay, you've got Kokoro. You have Aiko, Himari. Kokoro Dubai.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right? And
3 locations in Dubai, and then we just opened a France location as well. So, and Doko, and Uchi Park, Aiko, Handy's Dozo.
We get the stash part. How did the Ducks enter the program?
The Ducks is my business partner, Daniel. During the pop-up series, we used the Ducks as decorations, and he was wearing a duck printed shirt, and they just called him Ducky, and then it just took off from there.
Yeah, Ducky and then the stash, and then Duckstache, here we are.
And we had our first business, Kokoro. We didn't know what to name our LLC, so nobody sees the LLC. We're like, let's just call it Duckstache LLC, and then we ended up making it the hospitality group name. So. All
right, Houston Restaurant Weeks. It's such a great idea. I remember, years ago when this whole idea came about, and so it was meant to take the food industry and have the food industry help people who are dealing with hunger issues, right, or putting food on the table. And so when someone comes in and buys buys a prefix menu, whether it's lunch or dinner, a part of that money goes to the Houston Food Bank, and so far they've been able to really feed millions of people with this and provide millions of meals. So what are you all doing for Houston Restaurant Weeks, and why did you decide to get involved?
So we've been doing it for 3 years now. This is our third year, and you nailed the nail on the head. Just helping people in the community and feeding people. I mean, that's why we got into this industry. Just another route to be able to help people. So
yeah. He was joking earlier. He said, "I'm glad that the studio is so air conditioned, because otherwise I'd be sweating."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oftentimes chefs are used to sweating because they're in a kitchen where there's a lot of steam and frying and cooking and boiling and stuff going on. That's a different thing for sushi, though.
That's why I went into the sushi side. You know, you're surrounded by cold AC. You get to see people, talk to people, and work with cold food. So.
All right, let's go through some of the things that people can get when they're at Houston Restaurant Weeks.
Okay, awesome. So you have the sunamono, which is our cucumber salad with a little bit of chili garlic, crispy shallots, a little bit of chives. You have carrot and English cucumber.
Let's see, I should do this better. This is my first silverware growing up in Taiwan and Japan. Okay, here we go.
You can use your fingers, natural chopsticks.
Yeah, oh, so good.
And then you have our version of a spicy tuna for Yuna. Has a wasabi aioli, wasabi tobiko, tuna from Spain. Yeah.
Right here.
And then you have our masu maki as well.
Which one should I get? Here we go.
Masu's a Tasmanian ocean trout. So it's
Tasmanian.
kind of similar. It's like same but different with salmon. It's like a cousin of salmon. It's an ocean trout.
So. Tasting almost like a little
citrus
yeah.
spice. So it's our orange kosher that we have inside there as well, with some carrots, and then masu, the ocean trout, and the soy.
That's really good. All right.
But yeah, so all of our restaurant week menu, it's you can get a crudo, salad, a roll, and a dessert. So this is our masu crudo, ponzu, chili, garlic, tomato, sashimi. It's not just fish by itself. We like to pair the fish with either fruit, vegetables, or sauce as well. So.
All right.
And this is our desserts. So this is our ube tres leches with a little bit of mango crisp.
That looks so pretty. I thought that was decor.
That.
Yeah, look at that right there.
Beautiful food for beautiful people.
Oh, there you go. Right. Okay.
So you can just dig in there, get a little bit of the mango crisp as well. This is one of our best-selling desserts right now. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And very different. How do you come up with all these combinations?
I wish I could take the credit for all of it, but we have a great team now. Chef Zach is our pastry chef, but the beauty of it really is I'm not just creating the menu, right? Daniel's not just creating the menu. Everyone has a say, can have a say in the menu.
Right.
Like even if you're a server.
And that's the nice thing about owning your own restaurants.
Exactly.
Is that you don't have to go by a set menu that the whole country's following. You can do your own thing.
You can just break the rules and do what you want to do.
Oh my gosh.
So we just collaborate a lot of times, and when we do menu revamps, everyone has a say in it. You can make specials. We go through tastings. So.
What do you have coming up next?
What do we have coming up next? Ooh, there's a lot coming up next in the pipeline. But yeah, I mean, we're just trying to get through Houston Restaurant Week. It's super busy, which we're grateful for because it's for a great cause. But it also helps the restaurants out during summer when people are, not spending as much and business is a little bit slow.
Well, thank you so much for coming. And what do your parents think about this restaurant thing now?
Oh, they're very proud.
Yeah.
So.
All right. The 23rd Annual Houston Restaurant Weeks is happening now through September 7th. Doko, Kokoro, Aiko, and Hamari are only a few of the 400 participating restaurants offering amazing multi-course meals at unbeatable prices. They'll make donations from every meal to the Houston Food Bank, and every dollar donated turns into meals for those in need. To date, the event has raised over $23 million, provided over 70 million meals, and participants are looking forward to another successful year. For more information on Duckstache Hospitality or Houston Restaurant Weeks, visit greatdayhouston.com and we'll connect you.